been working at a childcare centre and I'd been working as a casual for 7 years. As a casual I wasn't that secure. I was worried that I was going to lose my job if I didn't get back there as soon as possible, and I kind of felt like they were being very kind to keep my position open while I was on maternity leave. It would have meant financial security for us for a certain amount of time, particularly after having Raph and I was so ill. It would have meant peace of mind that I could actually recover wholly before I went back to work. I guess it would have made my job of mothering a little bit easier. About 3 months before I was due to start back, I was informed via email that my position was gone at one of the centres that I worked at. It was closer to 10 years that I'd been at the centre, and I did feel pretty taken for granted, I guess, disregarded, very easily thrown away, just not even a phone call. Not even after the email, there was no contact.
I returned to work when my little boy was 4 months of age. It was a very difficult decision, one which I had to make because we have a mortgage and I had to return to work. I felt extremely guilty. It caused a lot of upheaval at home because I was coming home quite an emotional wreck. We tried for almost 3 years to have a son, and then knowing that he came along and I had to return back to work was probably something that was a little hard to accept.
I had to move into a house that was a bit of a dump in an inner city suburb. It was not the ideal place to bring home a newborn baby. The laundry was down in like a cellar, which was really hard for me to get in and out of after having a Caesar. I nearly burst my stitches carrying nappy buckets in and out of there.
Rats in the roof?
There were rats in the roof. I used to sit up of a night breastfeeding and just listen to the rats scratching in the roof. We needed to survive for the next 12 months on one wage. And that was basically the only choice we had. It was all we could afford. You know, you're having a child. I was a first-time mum. I had all these wonderful feelings about having a baby, and in the very next breath I'm absolutely scared to death about how I'm going to survive financially.
I actually was unable to exclusively breastfeed him from 12 weeks. I lost my milk. It was very traumatic for me and for him because he lost a lot of weight, he got really skinny, so he wasn't very well. I didn't realise. Financial strain was a bit of an issue, and the thought of having to leave my child certainly didn't help.
I think in terms of having the time to bond with my baby, Isabella, it's been fantastic because I don't think I was a naturally maternal person, and it did take more than, you know, just seeing her after birth to realise that I loved her. But also the breastfeeding, which was pretty difficult at the beginning. And I think if I'd had to go back to work straight away, I might have given it up.
It really isn't fair that we have to go back to work so early, and it's purely a financial decision. I'm very passionate about my job, don't get me wrong, but I have to say it's heartbreaking as a mother to have to be put in a position where it almost seems criminal to have to go back to work rather than be at home with our children.
I mean, we're crying out because of a skills shortage and wanting people to get back in the workforce, but how are people supposed to have families as well? It's a bit of a catch-22. We can't have everything, and the government really needs to be looking at that and looking at other countries who do have paid leave.
You have responsibilities, payments, mortgages, rent, car loans. It's a highly stressful time, and the last thing you need when you come out of hospital with a newborn baby is to be worrying about all those sorts of things.
I think it would be a wonderful thing if casual workers could be firstly considered. It would make them feel like they're not being punished for dropping out of the workforce to have their children. It would be just a wonderful relief. It would be options.
Really, women should have the opportunity to exclusively breastfeed for at least 6 months, and if you're going back to work, you don't have that opportunity, and that's a woman's choice is being taken away from her.
Even the thought of having another child with no paid maternity leave and is just beyond us. We just can't even entertain that idea.
Overdue, definitely overdue. I think everybody deserves conditions similar to what I've got. That would be great.